I'm Helen Hsu of the Helen Hsu Law Firm. Today I'd like to talk about debt collection. Many people are owed money, so I believe that this is an important topic. If someone is owed money and they are trying to collect, there are certain things that they should know. The first is to send out a demand letter before even filing suit. A demand letter is a demand for payment. It is sent to the debtor to demand that the debtor pay before a lawsuit is filed. The demand letter should consist of 4 things. The first is the exact amount that is being demanded. The second thing is why that amount is being demanded. The third thing is what the consequences are if payment is not received. And finally, the fourth thing is the time limit within which to comply with the demand letter. It is imperative in a demand letter to include any supporting documentation. This would include the contract between the parties. This would also include any invoices or bills that may have been sent to the debtor. And finally, this would include any email exchanges between the parties. Be sure to credit the debtor with all of the payments that the debtor has made so that the amount that is in dispute is accurate. Remember, a demand letter is a way to expedite resolution and avoid litigation. If you are owed money, there are certain things that you need to know in order to collect. The first is to send a demand letter at least 30 days before the debtor is sued. This is so that you can collect your attorney's fees, which is something that you want. The next thing is to send the demand letter by certified mail return receipt requested. This is your proof in court that the debtor received your demand. If you are owed money, you should also know that you cannot harass the debtor. Both the Federal and Texas Fair Debt Collection Practices Act prohibits this. The Texas Fair Debt Collection Practices Act is similar to the Federal Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. However, there is a major difference between the two. The Texas Fair Debt Collection Practices Act applies to anyone who is trying to collect on a debt, whereas the Federal Fair Debt Collection Practices Act only applies to a debt collection agency and law firms. If you are owed less than $10,000, you should consider filing suit in the Justice of the Peace Court. The Justice of the Peace Court has a jurisdictional limit of $10,000 and you can represent yourself. I'm Helen Hsu of the Helen Hsu Law Firm.